Come on! I've just watched Callum McGregor's interview, and outstanding. If anyone can mark down how many times that the captain says outstanding in that interview, you'll be doing well. I've got to say, none of us, not one of us, can ever criticise any player that plays professional football. We can all have our say, and as football fans, we can have the caveat of yes, we're football fans, we pay our money, we can have our say, but fuck me, hold my vermouth, hold my coffee, says Martin O'Neill. I'm going to show you what it takes to win in Europe, and I'm going to reverse a 20-year habit of winning. And 20 years since, come on! Yes! I've been to Amsterdam. I've been to so many games in Europe where we didn't have fight, we didn't have desire. And a fair play to Martin O'Neill. All hail Martin O'Neill. All hail Martin O'Neill. Fuck it. What a legend of a man. What a man. I have no words. When it's like Martin O'Neill is like the Christmas that keeps on giving. You know, Rangers are the gift that keep giving. And I know they're winning tonight, but who gives a fuck about them? But for over 15 years or so now, that they are the gift that keeps giving. Martin O'Neill legend, saint. I have no words. That man. He was everything that was good about my 20s. Martin O'Neill was everything that was good about my 20s. And he took us on a journey. A fantastic journey. And it didn't end the way that he wanted. But fuck me, come on. 73-year-old. And he shows up. How many managers have come and gone over the years at Celtic? How many managers have come in with the big fucking I know fucking better than any of you fuckwits? Martin O'Neill has not only won away for the first time in 4 years with the big ball bag fucking pay sack of fucking Brendan Rodgers well gone. It's unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. When he's quite little. He is, and he should be anointed a saint. He should be the first living saint that we have at Celtic. And I don't say that just off the cuff. What a manager. What a legend. And I'm just so glad. I could almost be in tears tonight because calm down with the sweary words, the Waynes are watching. So's my grandkids. And they're like, God, Grandad, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Calm the fuck down. Oh man. Jesus. Martin O'Neill. You said you'd eat Humber Pie, Celtic Masterclass incoming. I have no words for this man. He's Right, let's act professional. Fucking professional. This team that he put out tonight, every single one of us, every single one, when we seen this team tonight, we thought, what the oh my God. Ali Boy says he was pushing himself for Yang and Hatate scored. How do you think I felt? Because I'm sitting in the pub and I'm thinking, you're having a laugh. And I'm sitting watching the game and I'm going, fucking Yang's just scored. What the fuck? I'm going to cry. I am going to cry. Oh my God, man. And then WhatsApp goes. And I start getting messages for guys at the game, rubbing it in even more. Do you know, it's bad enough that you put yourself out here. It's not the Yang gang, it's the fucking crazy gang. Right? If you remember that there was a crazy gang of the 1990s down in a certain football club. We are definitely... can I turn off my earrings now? They've been flashing all day. Helen, whatever you did today, it's been amazing. And somebody's having a yang bang. Tonight shows Maeda can play when it suits him. I've got to give Quinny a shout out. Big shout out to Quinny. Because Quinny said tonight, is this putting Dice Maeda and Yang in the shop window? And I tell you one thing, if it is, fair play to them, but they're a bunch of wankers. Because, do you know, I'll give Callum McGregor his due. Callum McGregor said after the game, look, Yang's a young player. Wimbledon were the crazy gang, yeah, they were that. But I think we've got our own crazy gang. I mean, look at that team. Look at that team. That team is not a team. Nobody, not one set. I could go back WhatsApp messages for people that were at the game tonight expecting Celtic to get beat 5-0. And I love the video that got sent. It got put on straight on the channel. I said 3-1 tonight. I never seen anyone predict us winning tonight. And fair play if you did predict that we would win. But Jesus God, man, honestly, it's given us what has tonight done? Realistically, what has tonight done? It's made Brendan Rodgers look like an absolute fucking plonker. Sorry for swearing, but Brendan Rodgers looks like he's an absolute fucking twat. Because Martin O'Neill got Hatate. Why did we think that we would get Feyennord or being shit lately? But it's Celtic away in Europe. Come on, Michelle. Martin loves 3-1 wins in Holland. What a legend. He is. And when you look at that team, Hatate. Nobody thought that Hatate would put out some of the passes that he did. And Yang, come on. It's Yang. Martin O'Neill has put a little arm around him and he said, look, young man, all you need is a little bit of confidence. You know, Brendan Rodgers threw Yang under a bus. Told him he's only good when he gets his hole. Who the fuck comes out in public and says he's only good when he gets his Nat King Cole? Tonight gives the next man a real run of some knockout football next spring. And by the way, I just seen a comment coming. What a game of support was brilliant. I don't care what people say about the songbook. These are the guys that, you know, I'm dreading going on to Facebook. I am dreading going on to Facebook because there's a big chunk of my Facebook associates are at the game and they will be rubbing it in and they'll be fucking loving every single minute of it. Every single minute of it. And fair play to them. They pay their money. They go and see Celtic home and away in Europe, win, lose or draw. And tonight they'll be fucking absolutely loving it. And they'll be coming out of Rotterdam and going, fuck you, Rotterdam. Straight up to, and then there's Gareth has stood by his word. I am going to donate the once YouTube take their significant amount of it, I will donate the rest of Gareth's super chat to the Celtic Foundation. So I will not profit from Gareth's super chat. Gareth did say that he said if Yang scored, he would. He said he would do a £50 super chat. He must have been sitting like me, going, I had to take it. And when he come in at the back post and he scored, and I was like, was that fucking Yang? Was that really fucking? Did you? I didn't even cheer because I was like, for fuck's sake, Yang's just scored. So all the money, once YouTube takes around about 30% off, and the money that's left over, I will give that to the Celtic Foundation so that I do not profit in any way at all. And fair play to Gareth. There's not many times, especially through this season. What a fucking season! Come on! What a season! And this is us at our worst. This is us at our worst. This is us when we're down and out and we're bringing in a manager for the MLS that's fucking shite, that's got a pish fucking win rate. And this Celtic team just seems to go, hold my fucking expensive coffee. Hold my pint. Hold my fizzy water. Man. I was sitting talking to an elderly woman tonight. We'll say that in the pub. And she was very vocal during the match. Very, very vocal. She was more vocal than any of the elderly gentlemen that was in the pub. And I was speaking to her after the game. And she had been at games at an early age under the Jockstein era. And she grew up in and around Celtic. And Celtic were part of her life for a very long time. And still is. Even when she moved away to Canada, Celtic was still a fantastic part of her life. Season ticket holder, had met many players over the years, many managers, and knew a lot about the Celtic history. A typical Glaswegian maw. A typical Glaswegian Celtic maw. And I always think I love it, no matter where I go. And you always find Celtic supporters that have got a story to tell about the club. Got a story to tell about their affiliation to the club. To tell their story about, why they've supported Celtic all their days. About the fact that, that they've met certain managers, players over the years. And their own personal story about going to Celtic Park. And there is always, do you know what I mean? You're not brought up a Celtic fan. We always say that. You're born a Celtic fan. It's nothing about, we've had a successful 20 odd years in winning Scottish football. And yes, we've maybe got to the point where we expect that to happen. But we don't, and we never have been, as entitled as a certain club that wished us dead in the 1990s. We don't say that we are the fucking people. We feed the people. We take care of the people. We look after the people. And that's what's great about Celtic. On the 7th of December, Celtic supporters will have a fantastic opportunity to add funds and food to the Green Brigade. The Green Brigade are still going ahead with their annual and I think it's terrible that it is annual, and I think it's terrible that we still have to be given food to organisations in 2025. But Celtic fans step up. And Celtic fans have always stepped up. And do you know what? No matter what's going on with the shit with the board just now, do you know, Celtic fans giving to food banks all around Scotland, giving cash to food banks all around Scotland. From all the way up to Inverness, to Peterhead, to Aberdeen, to Kirkcaldy, to Edinburgh, to Galashiels, up and down Scotland, the Green Brigade have made a difference. No matter what you think of them, right? No matter what you think of them and what they may have done over the years, the fact that in this day and age, in 2025, that we still have to give to food banks is fucking unbelievable. But who would have thought that in 2025, Martin O'Neill, the legend, I mean, people talk about Scott Brown, captain, leader, legend. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Martin O'Neill. Martin O'Neill, not only the Messiah. Remember the Martin O'Neill November. If somebody doesn't put that on a fucking t-shirt tomorrow, there's something wrong. Because Martin O'Neill has completely changed our lives. Martin O'Neill has completely changed the way that Celtic Football Club has been looked at by its own fans over the last 6 months. We're sitting here on the 27th of November, and remember the Martin O'Neill November will carry on for one more game this weekend. We then bring in Brother Wilfred, and I hope that Brother Wilfred gets the support that Martin O'Neill's had. And I tell you one thing, if he pulls off absolutely anything like Martin O'Neill's done, what Martin O'Neill's done is Martin O'Neill's went, see when you go up in Sunday Mass and you've got your hand out like this, you've either got two choices. You bless yourself because you've never been to confession that week. So you bless yourself knowing the fact that you're not going to get bread. And what Martin O'Neill's done is he's put his palm out, because Martin O'Neill goes to confession. And Martin O'Neill knows that the gift of giving is much more than the gift of receiving. And what Martin O'Neill has done is he's given us something to think about. He's given us a bit of hope. He came back at the end of October, was no, it wasn't really. It was the beginning of November, because your old pal Brendan Rodgers was disappeared on the 27th of October. It's etched in my memory. I'm your father. Martin O'Neill can say that to... Martin O'Neill has the right to say that to... Martin O'Neill... I mean, where do you place Martin O'Neill now? As in legendary managers. And that's an honest... Tell me in the comment section. Do you place him... I mean, he looks up. Martin O'Neill is so down to earth. And he knows that he is in the shadow of the great Jock Stein. He's in the shadow of the man who did more for Celtic than anything. But I tell you one thing, Martin O'Neill is right in that shadow, tugging on the shadow, saying, Obi-Wan Kenobi, all hail. Martin O'Neill, just doing what he does naturally, fantastic. Yeah, it's I am still, to this moment, I have no words, honestly, and I think everyone's the same tonight. I mean, it doesn't matter where we finally end up tonight. I mean, when you look at the table for Europa, I mean, Celtic are in quite a good position. We're now in a position where it looks like that we will qualify for at least the knockout phase. As it stands, we've went down to 21st position. That's not too bad. I mean, at one point tonight, we were at 17th, 18th position before a lot of the other games were played. But when you look at the table tonight, all of a sudden, do you know, all is kind of rosy in the garden. Leon's winning 5-0 at Midtjylland. I don't know what their score was. Did they get beat tonight? They must have got beat. But there you go. Midtjylland must have got beat earlier on. Aston Villa up into third place. Real Betis. I want Celtic to get Real Betis. I want, and that's for personal reasons, because it's only about a 2-hour drive from where I am. Celta Vigo are in 9th position. Braga, hopefully they win tonight. They're in 12th position as it stands. Roma are in 14th position. Nottingham Forest are winning. They are also in 5th. They are in 15th position. Celtic were in 17th position earlier on. Bologna are in that position at 18th position at the moment. And Celtic have been pushed down to 21st position. It gives us a fighting chance, doesn't it? It gives us a fantastic fighting chance going into... And it gives the new incoming manager a platform to build on. Now, when the new manager comes in next week, I think it's looking like he's going to be announced on maybe Friday to start on Monday, and he will take in the game at the weekend. I think that Martin O'Neill can go out. There's just no words. There's no words at all. Got to put this going up. The board are a bunch of rockets. We should be keeping Martin O'Neill. Look what he's done with what Brenda said was a bunch of Honda cheeky bar steward. I think that Martin O'Neill coming in and could another manager have done what Martin O'Neill has achieved at Celtic? I don't think so. Personally, I don't think so. Any stand-in manager, I don't think... When you look at the potentials that we had, and it would have been going down the John Kennedy route, John Kennedy would never have got these kind of results that Martin O'Neill's got, and never been able to motivate the team. I just hope that I just hope that the Celtic players take the enthusiasm that they've had over the last month and take that into the new manager. And we know that there are players that want to leave the club. We know that Rio Hatate will be on his way out at some point in the next 6 months. We know that Daisen Maeda will be on his way come January. We know that Yang, that wasn't fancied by Brendan Rodgers, that Brendan Rodgers belittled and said he only plays good when his missus is in town. It just shows you how much that Brendan Rodgers fooled us all. And I don't like saying that because it fucking means that I was wrong, and I'll admit that I'm wrong. And I was wrong backing Rodgers to stay to the end of the third season. And I didn't expect Rodgers to turn out to be the ball bag. It's the only word to... And I'm sorry, Brendan, if you ever watch this, but you turned into a ball bag of the biggest kind. And, you threw players under the buses, you made excuses, and I think that for a 73-year-old guy to come in and show up Brendan Rodgers, to show up Ange Postecoglou, it is just unthinkable. It is just unthinkable. And there's one person that I know that you won't want to, and I certainly don't really want to, but and it pains me at saying this. It really does pain me at saying this. But you've got to hand it to Dermot Desmond to pick up the phone the very next day and say, Martin, go and come up to Celtic for me. Go and come and sort this shit out. As much as we all want, and this is probably going to get the chat going into fucking meltdown, but as much as we all want Dermot Desmond out the club, you've got to give him a bit of credit for Martin O'Neill coming in. Nobody else could have done it. Oh, so we all hate Brendan round. Lol. I don't think that we hate Brendan, but you've got to look at stats. You've got to look at the way that players are playing. Tim Simpson, come back and tell me exactly what Brendan Rodgers did to benefit Celtic this season. Because I'm big enough to hold my hands up and say he was a ball bag this season. He was fantastic last year. He was fantastic in his first year. But for whatever reason unknown to us, whether it was definitely... I've got to... Hey, I hold my hands up. I hold my hands up and admit it. At least I've got the fucking balls to hold my hands up and admit it. Do you know? I put my face out here every single day. And I backed Brendan Rodgers to stay here to the end of the season. But when the going got tough, Brendan Rodgers fucked off. I didn't think he would. I'll be honest. I didn't think he would. I think that Brendan Rodgers went, fuck it. Can't be arsed with this shit anymore. But if you want to praise him as some fucking messiah, fair play. Everyone's up to their. It's whatever you think. I don't think that he was a ball bag over the 3 seasons, but I will admit that the way that it transpired at the end, do you know? How can you applaud Martin O'Neill and not Dermot Desmond? I did applaud Dermot Desmond. If you didn't watch it back, I said you have to give Dermot Desmond credit for bringing in Martin O'Neill. Rewind it back. I did say that. And I did also say that will probably go against what a lot of people think of Dermot Desmond, including myself, by the way. Including myself. I want Dermot Desmond out, but I know the logistics of trying to get someone out that doesn't want to sell their shares. And when you're at that point and you're fighting against someone that doesn't want to sell their shares, when he does something, there's only one person. I credit Martin McCummon and anyone else just made the phone call. But it's the person that made the phone call. And unless, listen, I want change in the board as much as anybody. But sometimes you've got to be the bigger person in life. And admit when somebody done something that was unbelievably good for the club. And if you've not got the balls to do that, that's up to you. But at least I know when I backed Brendan to the hilt. I said that Brendan would be here for the 3 years. I now think that Brendan was a ball bag in the last 6 months. And I'm saying that on player performance. You can only say things on player performance. And that's all that I'm going on. I never thought that I would see a fucking performance out of Yang like what we did today. I never thought that I would see Daisen Maeda, Rio Hatate put in this kind of performance this season. You've got to look at players and the way that they're performing for Martin O'Neill and then ask the question, why didn't they perform like that for Brendan Rodgers? That's all I'm saying. It is all about opinions, but I am the first to admit that yes, I backed Brendan Rodgers to the hilt. I backed Brendan Rodgers to be here for 3 seasons. But when the going get tough, he fucked off. Anyway, don't believe Dermot Damon's statement, whenever will, or that say that Brendan's fault. Good luck to the manager with that board. Yeah, exactly. Don't think Rodgers as bad as being made out. I think he's been shafted to save face for DD. I think Brendan Rodgers had enough of their shite. There has to be some... I don't want to go down this road tonight, but there has to be some truth in what Dermot Desmond said. Because if he doesn't, that was liable in a court. Slander. Do you know, that's unfair. Brendan Rodgers could go down the unfair dismissal route and say, no, it became impossible for me to work under these conditions, so I had no option but to hand in my resignation. But it was unjust. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, fuck Brendan Rodgers, fuck Dermot Desmond, all hail Martin O'Neill, the legend, the legendary manager that we have at Celtic, the legendary manager that has managed to get us up that table. You know, we were down in 28th position. 28th position. 28th. And we're now in 21st. Well, we're up at 18th, but there was obviously other games to be played. But what it does do is it gives Brother Wilfred, who comes into the job on Monday, it gives Brother Wilfred a platform to build on. Oh, that's one of the best drinks. It gives Brother Wilfred a platform to work on. And when you look at it, fuck me, the Rotten Mob are winning 1-0. Anyway, and Feyennord are down in 30th position. It's not a bad evening to be a Celtic fan. Let's face facts. We've won away in Europe for the first time in a very, very long time. We all know that Brendan wanted more players, but the board let him down. Well, why did Brendan Rodgers sanction the sale of Adam Ida at the very last minute without having someone else in? Right, let's have a bit of common sense here, Tommy. And this isn't backing the board, right? This is not backing the board by any means. But why would you be so vocal about selling your number one striker, Kyogo Furiashi, and not getting a replacement? And then saying to the board, yes, I sanction the sale of Adam Ida without getting in a replacement for Kyogo Furiashi. So you're then trying to get in 2 strikers. Come on. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that the board just sell players underneath the manager. I'm not buying that. Yes, the board have had a wake-up call. But the board can also sit tonight and say, well, the proof's in the pudding. If a 73-year-old geezer can get the best out of players, the finger is then pointed at Brendan Rodgers. That's all I'm saying. If Martin O'Neill can get a tune out of these players that we all said were absolutely, what the fuck is that team all about? I mean, when you look at the bench, when you look at the team, McCowan playing on the wing, Yang playing on the other wing, Hatate. Well, we're all slagging Hatate off. I mean, I could go back onto the live chat and take screenshots, and there was so many people absolutely slated, including myself. You're going to get Paul started, Baz. Where is he? Let's keep Martin on the board. Yes. If the Celtic collective want to get a campaign, if they want every single Celtic fan to get behind a campaign, start a campaign to get Martin O'Neill on the board. Chairman for life. Get him on it. And it will be the support would back that 100%. I mean, let's do a poll. Have we got time for a poll? Congratulations to Marks. On the train at the Dam right now. What a game. I need to get that one up on the comments. He's on a train back to Amsterdam. Oh, where is that comment? I need to find his comment now. I bet that's why I don't find it. Mark. And you go, this is the problem with jumping between one system and another. Just see if I could highlight Mark's comment. What a pain in the ass. It's 1-1 Sevco. Yes! Fuck Sevco. But big shout out to Mark. I can't see it on this. Mark says that he's on the train back to Dam right now. What a game. On the tick. That's what I love. But yeah, if the Celtic collective want to start a campaign if they want a campaign for change, that every single fan can get their teeth into, and they will really back. If you want to go about change, maybe we should have a change of direction. Maybe it's not about sack the board, get rid of a fucking owner that doesn't want to sell his shares. Let's start a campaign, a serious campaign about getting Martin O'Neill on the board. Martin O'Neill should be given a position for life on the board at Celtic. He should be made honourable chairman for life until his dying breath at Celtic. Because he's the only bloody person that we trust. He's the only person that gets Celtic. He's the only person that's ever walked into Celtic Park as a manager and felt every single bit of pain that we feel. I don't care if Brendan Rodgers' brother still goes on Celtic buses for Belfast every single week, because Brendan Rodgers can say he was one of us, but he doesn't bleed like one of us. He isn't prepared to come out and say it unless it's cryptic. Fucking telling you this. But anyway, enough about an ex-manager. Big shout out to Mark, who's been a member for 5 months. Back on the train from the dam right now. And what a game. Up the I'm jealous, mate. I am jealous. I'm going to go into Facebook. And we'll wait and see. Brendan Rodgers is gone. The idea has gone nowhere. Keep Martin O'Neill on the board. Yes. Exactly, mate. I am all for that. Big up to Gareth for his super chat. Red hearts of different sizes. And then another super chat, 199. Yang plays for the Jets. Yang plays for the Jets. Hopefully he plays something for Celtic. Let's jump back into the comments. And I'm going to jump straight to the end of the comments. How long have we been on for? Been on for 40 minutes tonight. God, how many people have been online? My God, there's been over 2,000 people online tonight. Fair play, because there's still football going on. And just in case that you need any doubt at all, we'll update the Europa League. And we need to look at that score again. Let's get that up, because there's not often that we get to do this in Europe. We'll look at the Europa League results from tonight. What the fuck? I'm not going to get sick of this. Feyennord 1, Celtic 3. Yang. What the fuck? Rio Tati and Benji Negrin. You can't make it up. Come on. Jesus. Wait till I chew my olive. You can't make that up. Yang, Rio Hotati and Benji to win us the game. In Europe. In Rotterdam. Oh, we needed the Rotterdam music. Where is it? Why is it not coming on? It's only coming on the main screen. Wait a minute, I need to change windows. Fuck. Oh man, anyway, that's what it feels like to be Celtic. Hey! Anyway, if you are of a Celtic, if you're a Celtic ma, if you're a Celtic da, yes! Come on, get into there. It's all about the party time tonight. Ooh, if you like a bit of air. But anyway, if you were in Rotterdam tonight, Feyenoord 1, Celtic 3. Come on, make some fucking noise for the boys! Oh, it's absolutely brilliant. Oh, I tell you, fuck the missus isn't here. But anyway, let's get back to that screen. She'd be like, you're going to shut the fuck up, you. Anyway, the stats. Should we look at the stats tonight? Celtic had 50% of the stats. Passes. There was more than 359 passes. Surely. John, surely. I thought there was maybe more passes than that. There seems a very little amount of passes in the game. Pass accuracy was 90% for all those statisticians in the house. Fouls were 9. Yellow card 3. There was no red cards. Offside twice. Corners twice. But what it does do, Leon. Oh my God, what is Leon doing? Leon's went right to the top of the table. Midtjylland's down into second. Aston Villa's up into third. Real Betis is up into fifth position. Braga drawing 1-1 are up into seventh position. Porto are in eighth position. Where's the Irishman in Porto? I've had a mate that's been over in Po and that country for Portugal. That's it. For 4 or 5 days. We're talking about tax in Portugal. You pay less tax in Portugal than here, and they're friendlier. Just wanting Irishman and Porto's take on it. But anyway, we'll go right down the table. Bologna, a team that Celtic may face later on. Fenerbahce. Remember when we last played Fenerbahce? All that way to Turkey. and unbelievable City. But Celtic are in 21st position, having played 5, and we're on a fantastic number of goals now. But the points is what makes the difference. The goal difference. I mean, do you look at the goal difference when we're at this point? We're still at -1. We still need to score a barrel of the goals, but we're on 7 points. Martin O'Neill did say that we need to get at least a minimum of 10 points to reach the playoff place. Celtic fans at the beginning of the season thought we should be automatically qualifying, reaching the top 8 of the Europa. It's not to be, but maybe, just maybe, with a brand new manager coming in, could it change things? Could it be the year? An unfancied year. 2003 was an unfancied year by Celtic fans. It was a year that we got eliminated from the Champions League. Callum McGregor talking about bravery. He mentioned the word outstanding a number of times in his interview today. He said we pressed at the right times, we made some good blocks, we made the tackles when we needed. I thought we were outstanding during the game. The victory gives us confidence going forward in Europe. What does it do when we head to Easter Road on Sunday? Celtic faced Hibs on Sunday is the very, very last game that Martin O'Neill will take as Celtic manager. And I think that there's a lot of us that are feeling very sad that Martin O'Neill is ultimately leaving the club. He's came into the club and he's stabilised the club and he's made us all feel 100 times better as Celtic fans. We've all got a feeling tonight that we never thought we would have on the 27th of October, 1 month ago, when Brendan Rodgers left the building. After throwing the players under a bus, after ripping the confidence out the heart of the players, shredding it and telling them they were Honda friggin' Civics, in comes the Messiah, this man, who sits like your granddad, or abuelo if you're Spanish. And he sits and he has a word with you and he tells you that you're a good player. You just need a little bit of confidence. And he points you in the right direction. And he doesn't bullshit you. He doesn't make you out to be something that you're not. He points out the things that you're shit at, as any 73-year-old man would do, because he's lived his life. And he said to the press that these younger players have no desire to know what I have achieved in the game over my lifetime. Well, maybe tomorrow morning, a lot of these players at Celtic will be jumping onto Google and finding out, or even ChatGPT, and saying, what did Martin O'Neill do in his career? And why has Martin O'Neill been such a success over his career? And on that note, I think we should end that for tonight. Been on for 50 minutes. There's been over 2,200 people on the live. Bedtime for my old bones, says Brian. Yeah. I don't even want to look at the Sevco game. I'm not really interested because it's all about Celtic. We have been on the brink over the last 4 weeks. We were going in a downward spiral that seemed to have no end. Fans against the board. Everything was there for the perfect storm. Everything was there for Celtic to go into a massive period of decline. Martin O'Neill was come in and not only steadied the ship, but he has proven to every single one of us that Celtic were not a Honda Civic. They weren't even a Robin Reliant. They were a force that ultimately has to be reckoned with. And going forward, I just hope that the fans can get together and back the new manager as much as we back this man. But can anyone really, honestly live up to the legend that is Martin O'Neill? Is that putting too much pressure on Brother Wilfred? Will Brother Wilfred come in and save the day for Celtic? Will Brother Wilfred come in and win a treble with Celtic? There's one good thing that is for sure. That the story is never over. We're not here to take part. We're here to take over. On that note, have a fantastic evening, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world.